Hi, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And help me welcome Cleo of Cleo the Seer.
Hi.
And our special guest, Val of Dragonfly Crystals, the next level channel. And we welcome you to Kitchen Table Issues. Hello, ladies. And how are you? What's happening on your channel, Cleo?
Well, let's see. Tomorrow, Friday, I think it's a polyterology. It is, yeah, polyterology. And then on Monday, we've got a Mystic 4. And you don't want to miss that because we're only doing the Mystic 4 and some others, caffeinated and unfiltered. We're only doing those once a month on a Monday. And Mystic 4 is one of my favorite things that we do. So, and then on a week from today, I'm doing Golden Girls.
Yeah. Yes, we are. And that will be, on the 12th. And Val is going to be our hostess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to be the hostess. Well, I'm not actually going to host because I'm going to send Gerald a link for the Mystic 4. I'm going to have him host it while it's on my channel because I'm cheating. Yeah.
Lovely. Perfect. Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. And all the shows that Cleo mentioned, same for me. And so Marina.
Wonderful. And tomorrow we will gather on Val's channel again. Like I said, this week is Val all week. So we'll be gathering on her channel for Story in the Cards. Looking forward to that. We've got a lot. We are so spoiled for choice that it'll be interesting. Yes. So that's what I've got going on. If you want to know anything else, I will usually either Saturday or Sunday, I will post on my community tab what I'm up to this week. I'll let you know what shows I'm on, which ones I'm hosting, which ones I'm a guest on. You can go through that. Don't forget to please like, share, and subscribe. It really, really does help. And it's surprising how many people will actually tune in regularly to our shows, but don't subscribe. Yeah.
No,
I know. It's free.
It's free. Yeah, it doesn't cost you a thing.
Yeah. So please do like, share, and subscribe to all three channels. And if you want to know how to reach Cleo on her YouTube channel or Val on her two channels, go down in the description of the video. I've got the links right there. All you have to do is just click on the link. It'll take you right to their page. Hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the little bell. That way you'll know whenever we go live or they go live, whether they're by themselves or with someone else. Yeah. And then you can decide, take it from there. Please also take a look at memberships, because membership is your way to support our channels. And I know on my channel, I have 3 different levels. I think Val on her webpage has got a couple different levels. Mm-hmm. And Cleo is probably going to be looking at membership at some point. So yeah, it's
not yet, but eventually.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll let you know. And also you can go to my webpage, which is, let me hold it up for you. Here you go, marinasheartcentertarot.com. Go on there. You can take a look at, booking a reading for yourself. You can take a look at book a reading for someone else. Gift someone with a reading. If you don't know what to get someone, just, imagine a surprise. Yeah.
Marina, do you have gift cards set up on your website?
I believe that I do.
So, listen, people, you can go to Marina's website and buy gift cards for whatever amount for your people, for their birthdays, for Christmas coming up, even Easter.
Yeah.
This would be a lovely gift, a gift that is very precious to give. Gift card.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Val. Absolutely.
Cool.
So just want to quickly say hello to some of the folks who have joined us, and thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. Even those of you that are, kind of behind the scenes and you're just lurking, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that. So very quickly, Joyful Journey is here. Hello. We have got artist Liz. We've got Mimi Nee. Hello, Mimi Nee. Tea Garden Chicken. Amber from Rabstone, or Gemstone Rhapsody. I was going to say Ramstone Rhapsody. That too. That too.
That works.
Judy Moon, Karen Doyle, Laura Hammond Davis, Ellen Garcia, Eileen Bernard. We have got Anya. Hello, Anya. Anya and I just set up her free reading. She was one of the people who was at the Psychics for Democracy, the telethon.
Yeah.
And she was one of the folks who won a reading with me. So we just set that up. Yay, can't wait. And we've got successes, Lorraine Orr, Chris Cassidy, Janet Covington, Louise Fote. Hello to everyone. And Janet Covington says, I'm a lurker. Yeah, lurk away. Lurk away. So lots and lots of things to take a look at this week. I mean, you know what? The closer that we get to the election, the more that the news is coming out and so on and so forth. The one that I kind of looked at and I thought, oh my God, how funny. Remember, I think it was last week when Trump posted on his Truth Social the picture of Taylor Swift, supporting Trump and all that. Yeah, it turned out it wasn't true. Well, apparently, yeah. The latest is he posted on Truth Social a thank you to Jeff Walz, who happens to be the brother of Tim Walz, running for vice president. And, thank you for your support and your endorsement and whatnot. And, really wanted to make something out of it when there really wasn't anything to it. So when people got in touch with Jeff Walz, who said, yes, I did vote for Trump in the past, but, I really couldn't care less.
Oh, what?
Yeah. And then a little more research reveals that, the picture that Trump posted, it wasn't any of the Walz family members that are associated with Tim Walz.
Oh.
So
why does this not surprise me?
I know.
An honest word cannot come out of that man's mouth. Today is a particularly interesting day because this is where Chet can get something going with the court things.
Yes.
I don't know exactly. I kind of expected something a little bit different, like there'd be some big announcement today, but I guess it's not really working like that. But this is where she looks at what Jack Smith has submitted.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's got to make some decisions about, does this fall into the presidential immunity? And of course, Trump's lawyers have jumped on this and they're immediately dismiss the whole thing, dismiss it.
That's like,
and she said, hold on a minute.
No, I think she did. Yeah, I think she did. She goes, yeah, we got to look at this a little bit closer. And I know that they're saying, well, a lot of the testimony, or both in the grand jury and what was expected to come up, had to do with Trump talking to Pence all the time. And so they were trying to throw that out because obviously in their minds, this was presidential stuff.
Yeah.
That fell under the immunity clause.
Exactly.
But, just because he's talking to the vice president doesn't mean it's official stuff. I mean,
Exactly.
and so I don't know, they're looking around like we've got this. They're just going to throw it out because they brought up Mike Pence too many times, and
Yeah.
that's their main and only witness, which is not
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So I guess I was hoping for something more dramatic today, but it'll happen eventually here.
Eventually.
It will, because
I know we keep waiting for
the hearing. Yeah, the hearing wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily for her to schedule a start date for the trial. And she made it very clear that it doesn't matter to her if there's an election taking place.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is a criminal trial. And it has nothing to do with elections and whatnot. So, yeah, this was, they presented the arguments. It was only like, maybe an hour and a half, an hour, 40 minutes.
Mhm.
And yeah, she said she would try to have something by the end of day today. Not today. I think tomorrow there's a very good, and we can read on that, but I have a feeling that there's a good chance it's coming up tomorrow. And she's going to, I think she's going to side with Jack Smith and say, yeah.
I mean, what is the correct application of the law?
Yes.
It's nothing that Trump's attorneys are pointing to.
Exactly.
Let's just say it.
Yeah. Exactly. So, and Successa says, I've been to Calgary, Banff, and Reedy in BC. I was just in Banff over the weekend. Well, on Monday, the long weekend. Had a fantastic time.
It's so
it was
beautiful.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So beautiful.
And yeah, Calgary's my hometown. So
yeah.
Okay. So
You're
Shelley,
like, what are you, 2.5 hours from Banff? How far is it?
Oh, no, it's
an hour and a half.
Yeah, about an hour and a half. If you
have
do
to
the
go
speed
over
limit.
the glaciers and
No, those are a little further. Yeah, those are a little further north. But yeah, it was a fabulous day, fabulous drive out there. Yeah, on the way back home, we had bumper to bumper traffic for a good portion of the way. Couldn't see any accidents, construction, whatever. But it's a wonderful opportunity when you're going that slow to look around and see the wildlife. And yeah, we saw some mountain goats that were like literally you could reach out of the car and touch them. They were so
literally they're all over the road, folks. You can see them going up the mountains, the cliffs straight up. I mean, I don't know how they do it. They're all over the place.
Absolutely.
Did you go to Lake Louise?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
it's so beautiful.
It's lovely.
Stunning.
And being in the mountains is just feel very, very connected in the mountains. So, and hello, Leah Salva and Lorraine Orr and Lunar Love and Light. Nice to see you here. And Jean Kavanaugh, hello. Okay, so did we want to do that? Did we want to pull a few cards and see if the decision is going to come tomorrow from Judge Chutkin, and is she going to rule for Jack Smith?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I do feel like she will rule in his favor. There could still be a little, a few things that whatever he's submitted that she might have to cut back on. But I think what Jack Smith is trying to do is get the main gist of what his original indictment was. So I do feel like that's going to work out. And I think I don't know if she's going to come up with I hope she comes up with something by tomorrow, but I don't know if not tomorrow, next week sometime. Which, by the way, we got the debate coming up next week.
No.
I mean, that is absolutely true. And I feel like, these aren't the cards that I wanted to use, but they just were in front of me. What could I do? She's going to find the poop and call it poop. She's going to call it poop. She's going to bulldoze what she doesn't want to use and what she will use. and it's all going to be dust, meaning that the Trump's lawyers filed all kinds of appeals about all of it to drop it, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's going to see it's just poop. She's going to bulldoze over. It's just going to be dust. And I really feel just like Cleo, Jack's really going to be sitting really high on the level of what is going to be happening. It's all happening, folks. Just like Cleo said, though, there may be crumbs of it. There may be some things within it. I don't know. It's possible a little wording needs to be changed. I don't know. But Jack Smith's pretty careful. But Judge Chutkin actually wants to follow the law. So what can I say?
Well,
Remember the law
she has to decide does what he is bringing up, does it
Yes.
fall under presidential immunity?
Yeah, and she might find crumbs of it or wording of it
Yeah.
that she needs to have a file on and get it polished up as far as what Jack submitted. And so it may be a little bit of back and forth communication to do that. Maybe not. Jack's pretty smart. But, you know,
Well,
Judge
so
can, yeah.
you know, but she just may see some of this as, you know, let's look at it more from just plain common sense.
Yes, common sense.
You know, just because you're talking to the vice president and you're talking to Trump is talking to Pence, doesn't make that automatically a presidential issue. So yeah, I just, you know, I'm just really, I can't wait to see what she comes up with, because
I know I have a feeling that they're going to say it is, because he's talking to him about not, of course it's interference, but if he can't be prosecuted, he is talking about his job to be in there and officiate the ceremony of the electors count, you know, whatever they call that. So in a way, he was talking about his duty, Mike Pence's duty to do that. And he was saying to him, talking to him about his duty. That would be a very gray area.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I pulled some tarot cards, and I really, really, really like these cards. Okay. And this is from the Tarot Dylan Wee, Tarot of the Night. They're little darker cards, and I thought that they were kind of appropriate for this. I pulled 5 cards, and 3 of them are major arcana. I start off with the Wheel, and that is she is going to kind of find her own way with this, in that she realizes how important a decision this is. And she's going to follow within the guidelines of the Supreme Court, but she just might challenge the Supreme Court a little bit, knowing that their days are numbered. She is looking at, this is the 7 of Swords. She is looking at what was stolen, what was taken, what was the thief in the night, the trying to give him immunity where no one else has had immunity, and so on. She's going to come down with the judgment. I think she's definitely going to kind of side with Jack Smith, and there are things that she is going to some things she might say, well, if you can just tweak it a little bit, but don't change it too much.
Polish it up.
Yes. And then I get the Sun. Okay. Yeah. She is bringing illumination to all this, and she's saying, I don't think so. And I end with the Fool. There's I think that she is going to carve her own path and find her own way in this. And I think that she is going to go with Jack Smith. I think that the hearings on what can be used and what not, and the information from the grand jury. I think she's going to start that, and she might even start it before the election.
Oh man.
You know, I agree. My guides totally agree with Marina. I mean, this thing about this broad immunity.
Yes.
There's not a judge in the country right now that isn't kind of questioning what in the world the Supreme Court was doing.
Yes.
To allow something to be this
unconstitutional.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, I got a feeling, after all is said and done, and once Kamala is president, that this whole thing is going to be turned around. But in the meantime, we still got to live with it. And
three equal branches of government just got unequal.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. That's not constitutional.
Right.
Yeah.
Equal branches, 3.
Yeah. And hello, Sherry. Nice to see you here. Yeah.
Just so like that.
Absolutely. So now Liz Cheney has come out in support of Kamala Harris.
Yes, she has.
Yeah, she has said that Trump in no way, shape, or form represents her or her ideals or the vision of the Republican Party. And yeah, she is voting for Kamala.
Yeah.
So how do you see this playing out? Because there's a good number of people, I think, on the Republican side who realize that, what, Trump is this is a dead horse. You can't resurrect him. So I think a lot of Republicans do see her as maybe the answer for the Republican Party going forward. Mm-hmm. So this could kind of cement her place in the Republican leadership.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Republicans feeling that way, that, they're going to vote Democrat, but they're not going to leave the Republican Party. They just, right now, they see Trump as such a dangerous, threatening psychopath that to have him leading the country would just be horrendous. They know that, but they don't dare say it because, he's going on the Republican ticket. So they have to do, they have to kind of be a little bit careful what they say. But as far as voting for Trump, no, they're not going to. And they're saying they're not going to. And, I just love it. That is probably what is going to save the Republicans in the end.
And I have to say, I just saw Adam Kinzinger on, I don't know if it was Jimmy Kimmel or one of the late night. And he was saying, he was asked, how many of you in the government, in the legislature, are really afraid and not saying it, but are not going to vote for Trump? And he said, so many are scared. They're not going to speak out. They're just being fearful of losing their position, not being voted back. And he said, it happened to me, but I didn't care. He wasn't going to, he couldn't stand the lying and sitting there in that, situation with that kind of a leader. That's not a leader.
No, it is.
The guy that predicts who's going to be president and has
Cleo, go ahead. Out of my mouth. Alan Lichtman just put out his finding for this year. Cleo, go ahead. He
says Kamala Harris is going to be the next president, and he has gotten it right. What, 9 times out of 10? So
his keys will not, no matter how many keys are lost on a couple of things, it won't negate the keys she already won that are irreversible. So the findings are, and he's never wrong,
Hi, Michelle, Jonathan.
that Kamala Harris will be the next president of the United States. It is a done deal, but as he said, you still have to go to the polls and vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. You don't be complacent even for a moment. It doesn't matter. If the polling comes out and says, "Oh, she's so far ahead, man," it doesn't matter how far ahead she is. You have to go out there and vote. And that is what a lot of the mega are counting on, is they're counting on you thinking that, oh, she's so far ahead. That's what happened in 2016.
Yeah.
And Kamala is saying that herself. She's telling us, don't pay any attention to the polls.
No.
We got to keep fighting for this. We got to get all the votes in.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we have.
And that's what, even Midas Touch talks about the polls being one little tiny poll group, and they only poll 10 or 20 people, and they poll all Republicans, or this little single poll, and they are not worth anything. If you're really a polling group, like I can't think of the big one with just numbers, whatever it is, that one big one that goes in there, and they're pretty highly regarded. Get the big polls, the big ones that you can tell. But still, even Alan Lichtman says the polls don't matter. It isn't part of the keys. Those are whims. People don't even vote how they say they will in a poll. Don't even pay attention to that.
And also remember that right now, finally, the media is saying more about foreign interference, particularly Russia.
Yes.
And I see these articles coming out all the time where they're saying stuff about how great Trump is, and I'm like, who wrote this? And no sooner have I read it, and then I think I want to go back and see it again. It's gone. And so but Russia is very busy right now, particularly right now, to get as much derogatory information out. It's lies. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
So be aware of that when you're thinking, well, maybe she's not doing that good because you read some article that makes you wonder about it. Don't pay attention to that.
There's one channel you can watch. That's the Kamala Harris campaign channel. That's the channel. You can watch that. And you can watch like the Midas Touch. You can watch Glenn Kirshner. You can watch Brian Tyler Cohen. Anything else is just can't be trusted.
YouTube has some great stuff, but if you go back out on MSN and on the internet and stuff,
you can't. It's those are all owned by right wing, very far right owners, and they're slanted now. CNN, NBC, ABC. You can't go to any channels now and trust any of them. Just go to the ones like I named: Brian Tyler Cohen, Midas Touch, Glenn Kirshner. There's a few more out there. Shrinking Trump, the Real American something or other, I think they're called. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you watch any of the news broadcasting stations now, it is a slanted situation.
Absolutely.
You just can't watch. You can't get through a broadcast because it turns your stuff, gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Stuff they're saying about Tim Walz, that he's lied about his military record, and
it's all a lie.
It's all nonsense. It's all ridiculous, and some of the things that Trump himself comes up with about that Tim Walz has. He's acting like Tim Walz is the Pied Piper of transgender. That he's pushing all these little kids to go in and get some surgery or something. No, that's not what he's doing. He's just being normal. He's being loving. He's being caring about people, because some people are in a predicament like this, and how dare we spend a lot of time judging them or telling them they can't do what they need to do,
Yes,
especially
exactly.
down in Florida.
Listen, all this is from a man who says Kamala Harris is dumb. A woman
Oh,
who went to top schools, who has her JD. I mean, she is an attorney. She has held unbelievably top positions as district attorney, a whole bunch of other
well,
roles,
and
and
according
vice
to
president.
him,
But let me just say
yeah.
that Trump had his sister Mary, his sister, do his homework when he was at
Yeah.
what was it? The business college, Wharton's. He couldn't even do it. He couldn't even read. I don't know if he's dyslexic. I don't know what's going on with his brain, but his sister did his homework for him. So who is smart? Who can reason their way out of a paper bag? And the very fact that JD Vance thinks that Kamala can't speak English or put a sentence together. Pot calling the kettle.
Covfefe?
Well, and then she's a communist. She's a communist. What in the world? Where did that come from? Calling her a communist. And then the terrible decisions that her and Joe Biden did, and now it's cost the country. Oh my goodness. No.
It's the only thing that they have left. They can't argue on substance. They can't argue on platforms, on things that we have done. They're, they just bring up a lot of hyperbole and try to confuse people with a lot of whataboutism and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
right.
You got to get past that. The one thing that I saw today, which, oh my gosh, and I had to laugh, was apparently the Trump team, realizing that they're losing badly, are trying to appeal to some of the younger voters, and they are setting up appointments for Trump to appear with what they call manoverse.
Mm-hmm.
And the manoverse is white young males who are, they're pranksters, they're streamers, they're influencers on YouTube, but they really don't have a whole lot of substance.
Yeah.
And so he has appeared on several of these shows.
Mm-hmm.
The last one that I saw a snippet of, and they had that, I think it was on MSNBC, but I'm not sure, was Trump is sitting there with this young guy talking about cocaine and which one, gives you a better high, cocaine or something else, and what it's to. This is the person. I know. This is the person who wants to run the country, who has to go on a show where and provocateurs and all that just their trade, they ply in misinformation and so on, and just YouTube clicks and all. That's where he's going to try to raise awareness and to bring on these younger men who, for the most part, do seem to be, a little on the mega side. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're young men, they're single, and they're single because women of substance don't want to have anything to do with them.
Listen, this crowd that you're talking about is all about the QAnon stuff.
Yes.
They're all conspiracy theory analysts and in woo-woo land about the whole conspiracy theory. They think that the Democrats are the dark government that they have to fight against. So they don't even pay attention. It's not Trumping or not Trumping. It's that the Democrats, they think, are the deep state, the dark government, which is completely reverse. But what can I tell you? They're all into the QAnon. And what is the QAnon thing all about? It's about just exactly what I talked about. Lies told by Russia to convert us into a country divided.
And it's excuses. The reason you're a young man, and the reason that you can't get a job is because, you know, one of them people took your job. It has nothing to do with the fact that you're a spoiled brat who is lazier than shit and, you know, don't have the energy to get out of your own way. It has to do with
you're self-entitled and you need your mommy to bring you breakfast in bed. And do your laundry for you.
Yes, exactly. So I thought that was very, very interesting. That's where he's going.
Wow.
Now, Peter Navarro, and who just did a little stint in prison, who just got out, was on the Steve Bannon podcast, which, of course, you know, Stevie Three Shirts is still behind bars. And but Peter Navarro went on that podcast and was telling everyone within hearing range, and especially the news media and so on, to stop calling Vice President Harris by her first name because it personalizes her. Mm-hmm. And they don't want her personalized. They want her to be something that they can attack. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know who's going to tell them, but there's T-shirts out there. They don't say Harris. They say Kamala. 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 Yes, exactly. Yeah. And if you find it hard to pronounce, just say Madam President. Yeah. You can't pronounce Kamala. So, you know, just want to check in with you. You think this is really resonating with anyone out there? Or are we getting to the point that there are a lot more people now who are looking at the antics of the mega movement? And it's not the Republican movement. It really is the mega movement. And are kind of seeing the circus for what it is.
I really think after the Trump trial, where he got 34 counts of a felony, a conviction, I felt into the MAGA energy, and the MAGA energy was just very waning. They were more into, how am I going to feed myself every day? I got to go put one foot in front of the other, kind of let down. There was this depressed, let down energy. And I feel like even at his rallies now, you see even those paid people who sit behind him, and they aren't even trying to pay attention. They're waiting for they're looking at their watch. They're asleep. Some of them fall asleep. And many of them leave the little tiny area, not a stadium, the little area they've reserved. They leave. Because Trump has no energy. He can't pull the crowd anymore. Trump is deflated, and his manic, kind of narcissistic personality disorder is fed by their adulation, and he doesn't have it, and he knows he doesn't have it.
Yes.
And so I think it's a self-propelling problem inside of him and his group. Do I feel that MAGAs are starting to go, well, I don't know if they've gotten to that inner search yet, but I feel that they just don't have the fire in their belly anymore. Yes. Whatever he fired them up with initially it's ringing hollow now.
Right.
And they don't know why. They haven't gotten there yet, but it's empty.
Well, because Trump told them that the election was stolen and
Yeah.
that it was illegal, and that by what he did was he had every right to do that, which he also admits that he that he enlisted January 6th, the insurrection.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that are listening to this that were totally on his side are thinking, well, when until it came down to 34 felonies, that 34 felonies made a lot of people think. A lot of people think about what in the world is going on. Wait a minute, this guy's running for president and he's got 34 felonies.
Yeah, I think it made it brought people to heel, and they're like, huh?
Yeah.
Well, there's only so many times you can say something has been stolen from me without actually coming up with the proof. Or going to court over 60 different times, and the court saying, no, you lost, honey, get over it.
Yes.
He doesn't want to see you again. He just, please, he's not that into you. And
that's another thing. I think MAGA feels like he really isn't that into them. So there isn't the charisma he used with his little group is on the wane. And so even his big stamps or playing cards are probably not selling hot off the press like they were.
Those are so stupid. But what Trump said very recently was that he didn't think the race was going to be all that close, because they keep talking about it being a close race. And I'm thinking this is a rare moment where I definitely agree with him. I think Kamala is going to
she's going to blow the doors off, but we can't say it like that, because we got to get everybody to the polls. And more people to the polls than they can put magic numbers in.
Exactly.
To throw the scale. An avalanche of Kamala Harris votes. Yeah.
No doubt whatsoever.
Yes, that will negate any extra votes that come into the chute, any cheating or any of that kind of nonsense.
None of them.
Yeah.
And that is definitely happening. The cheating is definitely happening.
Of course.
It is.
Because yes.
Absolutely. It's absolutely happening. And so we have to overload the Kamala Harris votes like crazy. I mean, with real votes.
Well, yes, with real votes. Does that mean I can't come down?
I mean, you could. I could say you live with me, and then
there you go. Yeah, of course I'm a citizen. Don't I look like a citizen? Look at me. Now, the other thing, and speaking of, let's just stay with Trump, because why not? I mean, he's just the pile of shit that just keeps on giving. So his the fundraiser or whatever event, the January 6th awards ceremony and then whatnot in Bedminster has been postponed indefinitely.
Oh wow, surprise.
Oh.
I know. What happened?
Let's see. You had to pay, I think it was $21,000. I don't know how much for a ticket. And perhaps he couldn't get enough people to pay that price to get in. And so that left him with a little egg on his face and not being able to even hold that amount.
Think about
it. Yes. Yes.
And
it would be embarrassing.
Yes. And I think, if you just for individual tickets, I think they, or just to attend and maybe not be part of the whole ceremony and so on. I think it was like $1,500, and then it was $20,000 or $25,000 for a table of 10 or 20.
Picture with them, all that. Yeah. So apparently, wouldn't it mean that he didn't get enough takers? and then he'd be embarrassed with egg on his face.
Exactly.
Well, and aren't they trying to get money to help take the people out of prison that went?
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, let me explain something, Cleo. As per usual, it's a deflection tactic. The money will never go where he's saying it's supposed to go. It never goes to the charity. It never goes to the fund. It never goes to the wall. It never goes to, I mean, it never has, and it never will.
But I do think that trying to get money to get these people to help them get, I don't know, lawyers and stuff to get them out of prison. No, they did something illegal. They got to pay the price. And, you know, and he's trying to act like they're unfairly detained and, you know, that this
They're
should never
patriots. They're hostages.
Hostages. That's right. I forgot about that.
Hostages.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I think that yes, part of it was that there wasn't enough money raised, and there were supposed to be some big well-known people who were going to be there. Well, some of the names that I heard who were going to be there, I never even heard of. So how big can you be, right? But I also think that there was when he decided that yes, he was going to host this, he was going to allow Bedminster, that was the place that it was going to be hosted, and so on. A lot of the people that would have been attending would have already possibly served their jail time, so they would have been convicted felons. Hello, as a convicted felon who has yet to be sentenced, one of the conditions of bail and you being out on the street is you cannot hang around with convicted felons. How are you going to do that picture with the guy who paid $25,000 for the table if he's a convicted felon and now you're putting his probation in jeopardy and you're a convicted felon? The optics aren't good.
Here it says nearly 900 people pleaded guilty to federal charges, while 186 were convicted in trials of the Jan 6. Prison sentences were handed down for 562 of them, and FBI is not even finished searching for perpetrators of the crimes of that day.
Yeah, really.
What you're talking about are criminals.
Yes.
And apparently people that were going to attend as the honored, I mean, just high names that you don't even know, didn't want the publicity of being with somebody who did what they did at the Arlington Cemetery. There's a lot of blowback from that disrespectful behavior. And the fact, I'm going to tell you, he didn't get enough money.
No, like Rossi says that the Bedminster lost his liquor license since Trump is a felon.
Of course.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that heads up because I wondered about that. A felon can't have a liquor license. There's a lot of things a felon can't do, and he's a convicted felon.
And in some places they can't vote, or they're not supposed to.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
True.
Exactly.
So,
I would like to know if now that it's been postponed indefinitely, the people who bought tickets, are they going to be reimbursed?
Yeah, they're going to get their money back? That's a good question. Or already been to help those people.
They called it postponed for a reason.
Yeah.
It'll go on. And then when everybody calls and says, well, but it's only postponed. We're going to keep your money. It's only postponed, but it'll never happen again. They're going to keep their money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just another way for him to get a grab. And really, for the people that he would be sort of helping to host this, okay?
For Pentacles.
Oh yeah. I would like to know regular mega Joe Blow, how many of them could hold a family gathering and put together $1,500 to send Bubba versus how many, can they come up with $25,000? I don't think so. Most of them are unemployed, right? Waiting for the coal industry to kick back in. So, Trump is going to bring back coal. He is preying on the weakest of the weak, not only emotionally, but financially.
Yes.
They don't have.
That's why he doesn't respect his followers.
No.
Because they're mom and dad retired people who live on their pension or their paycheck. Yes. I mean, their Social Security, rather.
Yes.
And people who live paycheck to paycheck. It's just unconscionable. And he talks about them behind their back, saying that they're just disgusting to him. And this is
said it to their face. Yes. I don't need you. I just need your vote.
That's what he said in Las Vegas. He said it at Sunset Park in Las Vegas this year, a few months ago.
Yeah.
So
that's all it is.
I don't need you.
And then afterwards, you're not going to have to vote again because I'm going to be here. I'm going to be your king.
Yes.
Come kiss my ring. And
he's going to be the emperor with no clothes. Oh God.
Oh God, that paints a horrible picture.
Horrible thought.
Exactly. And you know what? Yeah. Acadian Proud just said, Trump said he would put on tariffs, not mentioning that the additional cost will be passed on to the consumer. Of course. That's tariffs. You think that tariffs bring money in? They do. But then if you put a tariff of 5 cents on an item, and I have to decide, am I going to pass on that 5 cents to the consumer, or am I going to lose 5 cents? You know what? Since I'm paying 5 cents, I'm going to charge a consumer 7 cents more.
Yeah.
So that I'm not losing anything, and I'm going to build that little bit of buffer in. So it sounds good to say, oh no, I'm putting 100% tariffs on all these things. He doesn't have a clue what he's talking about.
No, he really doesn't.
Yeah, I do believe that he is illiterate.
Yes.
He does not read anything.
He doesn't. And even when his aides in the White House were trying to present him with his daily briefing, they dumbed it down into the smallest one-word PowerPoint, slides. And it was too much for him.
Yeah.
He couldn't take it. He couldn't take it in. It meant nothing to him.
It had to have his name
yes
on it, or he wouldn't even look at it.
Yes.
And pictures, if you draw pictures, okay.
Those it has to have people in it because that's what interests him, like TV.
Yeah.
It has to say something good about him, or he's not going to want to see it.
He also said he wasn't going to tax Social Security. This has been his latest thing to make people think that he's helping Social Security. Well, we have to have certain taxes, otherwise we don't have any Social Security.
Exactly.
He's waffling on Roe v. Wade. He's trying to get away from the Project 2025.
Yeah.
None of it's going to work. It's too late. He's already got the stank on him.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
I don't know how many times in the last 2 or 3 days that I have heard him re-explain his position on abortion and on Florida's 6-week abortion ban.
Right.
I'm for it, except that I'm against it because it's not enough time. But you know what? There has to be consequence. So there's got to be a 6-week thing. Excuse me. I'm sorry. No, absolutely. I'm standing up for women's rights.
And then babies are being murdered at 9 months. Where in the hell
after birth? They're being aborted.
Anyone who hears that and can't connect their logical mind with that fact, that soundbite,
Yeah.
and hear gobbledygook, pink elephant, or
Yeah.
It's such a
Martian.
horrible thing to say. I mean, that just has never
It's a
happened.
horrible thing to evoke and say, absolutely 100%. But they're unconscionable with their tactics to invoke fear in the hearts of their people who they don't want to educate in school, and have, through 3 or 4 generations of illiterate people, and they have them in the palms of their hand, feeding them whatever they want, and they got them right where they want them.
Yeah, exactly. So, and there was I saw a Trump supporter being interviewed, and one of the questions was on the abortion. And this man said that no, the Democrats are all for, you can have abortion up until the 9th, but you can have an abortion up until the last minute. As a matter of fact, they're doing abortions on babies that have been born.
Right.
And the interviewer said, I think that's called murder or infanticide.
Thank you.
Yeah, but the Democrats are doing it.
Yeah.
It's just the biggest lie ever told.
Where?
Disgusting
one. Where are abortions taking place?
No doctor in any hospital.
Yeah.
It's going to take an already born baby and do something. No doctor in any hospital is going to take a mother into the delivery room and do anything to that baby but keep it alive in whatever way they can.
Yeah. Well, not according to Trump. According to Trump, they're killed after they're born.
Yeah, that's just the most, asinine thing to say. What
anybody would ever believe that is just boggles my mind.
It
just boggles my mind. There are people out there who say Democrats are the devil worshippers who eat babies. I mean, that is the most.
I'll have you know, I have not had one in many, many years. Okay. So no. We've changed our policies.
We have to have these laws if we have babies.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just it's
can you believe that we're even having this kind of discussion in regards to a presidential election? I mean,
I know.
Mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing and mind-numbingly stupidity to the 10th power. I can't even.
It is.
It's beyond. It should not even be in our vocabulary, and we shouldn't be having this conversation. But unfortunately, we are.
And you know what? I mean, once Kamala is installed in office, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to do when we gather?
Now that the glass ceiling is broken for good.
Yes.
We're going to talk about no more anxiety. We're going to talk about more loving things, less feeding things. We're going to talk about, wow, we're finally getting back to normal activities. And just, I can't wait. I just can't wait. It's been over 8 years now that we have had to deal with this kind of
PTSD, right, Cleo? PTSD. I mean, it's post-traumatic stress. We have had it. And I mean, it came from Trump first, and then COVID, and Trump, and COVID.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It just goes on and on and on. And I can't believe it. I'm looking forward to the day that, we won't, that he will become a verb. Oh, did you Trump? Yeah, I did. Sorry, didn't mean to.
Well, you sounded a little trumped out there, because I didn't hear the pronunciation on that word there.
Yes.
Did you have a little brain fart? I mean,
yeah,
perfect.
Did you make it Trump?
Exactly. That's right. Come on. Yeah. Boys will be toilet trained by saying,
I
come on,
think
you could do a little
the
Trump in
Trump-
there. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, the Trump name may be like the Hitler name. I mean, it
Yes.
may become that
Yes.
vile because the United States, the sacred United States of America,
Yeah.
that our founding fathers wrote the most beautiful constitution for,
Yes.
in preamble. I'm telling you, this nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, will never go asunder.
Yeah.
I know. I know. This is
So when everybody says stuff like, "Hey, you look like Trump," they're saying, "Hey, you look like you got hepatitis," or "You look you look like."
you look like SHIT, okay? Are you jaundiced? Were you at the hospital? You should have that checked out. That doesn't look good.
Sixes says Hitler's relatives changed their names. I don't blame them.
Yes.
Right.
I
Yes.
changed my name too. Holy cow.
And I remember I don't know if it was sometime last week that someone had asked about do we and I think we read on it about would Donald Jr. or Eric go into politics? And I thought, ain't no party gonna touch them with a 10-foot pole.
Right.
No.
Right.
Like they are all tainted. And the thing is, you can't say, well, my father did that. I was involved. Yes, you were. Yes,
Yeah.
you've got your own criminal record that you bring to the table, right? So
Yeah, true enough.
yeah, I think that they will
And
be.
I mean, they're not done with all of the kids yet. I mean, who knows
No.
what's coming down the pike for them. So
Yeah.
just hold on to your seats, everyone.
Yeah.
There's more coming.
And I said it recently, and I'm feeling it more and more. I still think that Ivanka is going to deliver the knockout punch for him. I think that she has, she has been working not only with the prosecutors, but I think that she's also been working with some people in the Republican Party on getting him out.
So, like, what? Do an intervention on him, or get him the help that he needs?
Yeah. Come on, Daddy, come with me. We're gonna go out for dinner.
He's got dementia starting.
Yes.
He's in that starting phase. So he's in 2 years, he's going to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had any kindness in them whatsoever, they'd be doing that for him. They'd be taking him, Daddy, come on.
Yeah,
Come
no,
over
she
here.
would, and yeah, don't get me wrong. She would never do anything like that because it's the right thing to do for when a parent kind of, gets into that state. She would do it to save herself. And that would be the only reason that she's doing it. But I think he's tolerated an awful lot from a lot of people. But that is the one betrayal that I can see when he realizes that she was the one that betrayed him. That's when I can see him clutching his chest. And
probably so. But do you think that dementia is a grounds to get him off on some of these charges, because it's a mental disability. What
No.
I don't know.
No.
It's not insanity, but it is an infirmity.
Well,
of
talk
mental
to any
thing.
normal, any everyday person that got dementia and sold the family farm or lost all their money. No, they don't. They don't suddenly get it back. They get in trouble. Maybe they don't end up in jail or prison because they're in an institution by that time. But no, just because you're sick is no excuse for doing, especially the things that Trump has done. There's no excuse for that.
Okay,
and especially when they're
I didn't think there should be some excuse at all. I mean, he definitely should be sentenced for those things, but he probably really won't spend any time in jail from any of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can only hope that that he does spend some time in an institution somewhere. But
It would be nice. It would be nice, but yeah, I don't know. I think that he is, as sick as it sounds. I think that most of you will probably agree with me that Ivanka is the great love of his life.
Yeah.
Ivanka is, I mean, the sun rises and sets on her. Everything that she does is absolute perfection according to him. So for her to be the one to stab him in the back, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, that's, yes.
I mean, you know, he prefers Ivanka to his wife.
Yeah. So, oh yeah. Well, I know that's contractual.
It's not stabbing him in the back. It is doing the loving thing for your father. And, you know, I can honestly relate to this. My dad had dementia, and he had some legal problems in the process of that. And so you have to do things that you never thought you'd have to do. And you just do them. And that's what, and you do it because you care about that person, you know, and they become somebody that you don't recognize anymore.
Yeah.
And I think if Ivanka can do that, more power to her. It's the loving, right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. The personality really goes. I mean, they're a different person by the time they.
Oh yeah, you're not the same person at all, and you've lost your intelligence. I mean, dementia is just a horrible, horrible thing. But for some reason, Trump seems to be lingering a lot longer than I.
He's lingering a lot longer.
Well, you know, think about it. I think that the worry is just starting to get to him now. The reality of things is just starting to get to him now. Up until recently, he has lived in a fantasy world that no one questioned. No one said, Donald, that's not really the way that it is. Now, is it? What was the truth? What really happened? And what? So he hasn't spent years in that place of worrying about what happens next and dealing with life's crises or whatnot. He's been delusional most of his life.
He has.
So that's why he's been able to hang on as long as he has, because, you know, I mean, what's going to
his normal state? What you're saying. But you know what? I just saw him on an interview with Tucker Carlson, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And he said he talked about running against Biden and thought he
he just has done that.
Yeah.
He thought he was running against Biden still.
This was like yesterday. He was talking
like yesterday. This is very timely. And he thought he sat right there talking about him running against
Biden.
He just was in that track, that senility track, that dementia track that was in yesterday era. And
his excuse for rambling is that he's weaving topics together that don't make any sense. I loved it that he went through that whole thing. But yes, he had just said that he was running against Biden and Kamala.
Because in dementia, you slide into other dimensional states and you slide back sometimes, and you slide back into today. But then you got to make up, you know, hopefully, if you even know what you said.
Yeah.
You might rephrase that. But he clearly believed when he was saying it, he was running against Biden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just sat there and can't believe Tucker Carlson didn't call him on it, didn't say anything, let him just talk. He never.
Because there's so many people enabling Trump. All these other Republicans and stuff, they're enabling Trump. And because they feel like they've got no choice, he's going to run for president. So we're all going to say, yay, he's going to get it. And when he lies about stuff, they're just agreeing with him because
what are these 5 major networks, news networks, going to do when Kamala Harris becomes president of the United States of America, and they've got nothing? They're sitting there because we will.
You know what they're going to do, Val?
We will have the House and the Senate.
Yeah,
and we will.
They're going to sit back and they're going to go, I never did like that man. And it took every ounce of strength for me not to say that. But my boss said if I said anything, I was going to be fired. And most of you know I've got children at home, but I never liked him. Never trusted him.
Absolutely.
Because it's what they do. Lying is, to a lot of these people, lying is second nature. It's like breathing.
It's like breathing.
They just deferred to it. But anyway, ladies, we are at 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Yes.
1 hour and 10 minutes.
That went
I did, didn't it? Like, and it was gone.
Yeah.
It was gone. So, Cleo, as always, thank you. And we'll be doing this again on the 19th.
Yeah.
And yes, Val, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, Val, that was great. I'm so glad you came and helped us today. Because
Absolutely. If you're available on the 19th, which I know you don't leave until the 26th, if you feel so inclined,
I'll have to look at
you're more than able to join us.
Yes, please come back.
Be mighty glad to have you.
Thank you. It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. And thank you guys for joining us. I hope that you found some of it informative. I hope that you were able to laugh and release some of that tension if you still have any of the tension. And oh my gosh, there are much, much better things ahead. And just, keep positive. Vote blue up and down the ticket. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time.
And don't pay any attention to the propaganda. That's what it is.
No, do not listen to that.
No. All righty. Take care, all. Good night.